What's going on, guys? This is Josh. Welcome to Treksplained. Here we talk about Star Trek and drink. Please like and subscribe after the video if you enjoy it. Now, without further ado, let me explain something to you. Prototype is the 13th episode of the second season on Star Trek Voyager. It starts off with B'Elanna Torres, Tuvok, and Captain Janeway looking into the camera and talking about power drains and stabilizing. It's all staticky. Quick fade over to engineering with Ensign Kim and Torres trying to boost power or some shit, but it's not working. Some percentages and whatnot later, and they're able to bring power back. The camera tilts over to see an image of itself. It's an android. A very low-budget android. Después de los créditos, Torres is talking about damages. Kim says it's not a cyborg. It's all robot. Turns out the robot runs on some sort of superconducting plasma and not EPS power like what Voyager uses. It starts talking in a way, but doesn't make much sense. Prelor is the best word it uses, but who knows what it means. Kim is tired and goes to sleep, but B'Elanna keeps working on the android. In the mess hall, she has some coffee. She finishes it, but Neelix says no more coffee. He's cutting her off. Neelix talks about how his cooking is the same thing as the power cell that wouldn't hold its charge, simply because he was tired. Neelix orders Torres to bed, but she goes to engineering and knocks on the android's head. The android doesn't answer, so she finally heads to bed. She wakes up with a start and goes to talk to the doctor. He suggests a transfusion, but she doesn't have access to such a plasma. He suggests warp plasma. They work through the issues and figure out how to adapt the warp plasma. Torres and Kim are back in engineering, and they successfully reactivate the android after some troubleshooting. The android grabs onto Torres' arm and says he's automated unit 3947 in a pleasant robot voice. The robot shortly is able to sit up and run a self-diagnostic that shows he's doing okay. Not great, but okay. Much better than he was a day ago. They complement each other, and we get some backstory as to why 3947 was floating in space. Asteroid mining pod blew up. He was stationed on a Prelor vessel. She tells him that she repaired his power module, and he asks if she's a builder. She says she guesses so. She's an engineer. It's determined that the builders were the humanoid race that constructed the android. He suggests that she could make all new power units for all of his people since the builders no longer exist. Torres talks to Janeway in the ready room about the concept. Helping a species reproduce is against the Prime Directive, and it's not a flaw, it's how they were built. Maybe the builders didn't want them to reproduce. Janeway says no. Torres tells 3947 about the captain's decision. They both disagree with it, but she's trying to justify it anyway. The Prelor vessel approaches Voyager and hails them. Janeway identifies herself and organizes to give them back 3947. In the transporter room, 3947 shocks Torres, zaps the transporter tech, and kidnaps her, taking her to the Prelor vessel. Voyager tries to transport them back, but they aren't working, and the vessel isn't answering. Janeway says, "Return her or die." They ignore her. In the Prelor vessel, Torres and 3947 are talking about making a new power module. Janeway better not provoke them. Janeway provokes them with phaser fire. They fire quantum charges back. It's a firefight. Voyager tries to retreat, but they can't move. Womp womp. Torres says she'll help if they stop attacking Voyager. They do. Torres hails Janeway and tells her what's up. In the Prelor lab, Torres begins thinking about how to best accomplish the task. The history of the module and how they've tried to replicate modules before, but they never work. The captain of the vessel comes in and asks for process. It's been 5 minutes. There is none. On Voyager, they talk about their status. Voyager is fucked up, but let's think up a rescue mission. On the Prelor vessel, Torres determines why the power modules don't work. The power modules all have slightly different power signatures. Each unit has a unique energy code. They need to figure out how to get a universal power code for new modules. Optimism! Janeway and crew talk about using a shuttle to rescue Torres. Chakotay and Paris exchange some verbal jabs, and Janeway is like, "Now boys." Torres is working on a unit to determine some sci-fi stuff. They talk about artificial life forms in the Federation, including a mention of Data from TNG. Hey, I know him. He's treated as a human just like anybody else. Chakotay reports to Janeway on the progress of the ship and the idea of using a holographic ship as backup for the next fight. Tuvok calls about another ship incoming, unidentified. Torres is able to build a backup power unit after a few tries. Prototype unit 0001. They congratulate each other, but then they come under attack by another android ship. It's a robot war. Kravik is the other robot species. Prelor versus Kravik. Janeway talks to the Kraviks and gets ready to grab Torres while they're duking it out. Torres finds out that the Prelor and Kravik humanoids are extinct, but that the robots keep fighting because that's what they're programmed to do. Paris flies a shuttle over to the Pralor ship, but can't get through quite easily. It's determined in the lab that the Pralor and Kravik humanoids actually called a truce and tried to stop the fighting, but the robots decided to kill them since they became the enemies at that point. In the shuttle, Paris is able to get through a rift in the shields of the Pralor vessel, while Torres stabs the prototype unit so that they can't procreate. They're monsters. Paris rescues Torres and flies back to Voyager. The Pralor and Kravik keep fighting, and Voyager warps out of there as soon as the shuttle is back on board. Over coffee, Janeway and Torres work it out and make peace over what Torres felt she had to do, and how she had to kill that which she created, and thus ends the episode. That's all for today. Thanks for watching Treksplained. If you liked today's video, please drop a like and subscribe so you get updates on new videos. See you next time on Treksplained.